Imagine a single note played on a piano, soft and hesitant, echoing in a quiet room, searching for its place in a melody yet to be written. Now picture that note becoming a song, a symphony of love, heartbreak, and destiny that changes two lives forever. What if one moment, one chance encounter, could rewrite the rhythm of your entire existence? That's the mystery we're diving into today, my friends, and I promise you by the end of this video, you'll uncover the answer to a question that's been tugging at your heart. How does a woman who spent her life teaching others to find harmony in music discover the music in her own soul? This is the story of She Was a Piano Teacher. He became the music in her life. An inspiring love story that's as heartwarming as it is unexpected, and I'm so thrilled you're here with me to unravel it. So grab a cozy blanket, maybe a cup of coffee, and let's step into a world where every note tells a story, and every heart has a song waiting to be sung. I'm talking directly to you, because this isn't just a story. It's a journey we're taking together, one that's going to make you laugh, maybe cry, and definitely keep you glued to the screen until the very last second. Let me paint you a picture. It's a crisp autumn afternoon in a small town in upstate New York, where the leaves are turning gold and red, and the air smells like fresh apples and possibility. In a quaint little music studio on Main Street, there's a woman named Eleanor. She's in her late 30s, with warm hazel eyes that seem to hold 1,000 untold stories, and fingers that dance across piano keys with a kind of grace that makes you believe in magic. Eleanor's been teaching piano for nearly 2 decades, guiding clumsy beginners and prodigious talents alike, helping them find the rhythm in their lives through music. To her students, she's a mentor, a confidant, someone who can turn a simple scale into a life lesson. But to herself? Well, that's where the mystery begins. You see, Eleanor's life is like a perfectly composed piece of classical music. Structured, predictable, beautiful in its own way, but missing something. A spark. A melody that makes your heart race. And you, my friend, know exactly what that feels like, don't you? That moment when you realize your life is good, but there's a quiet ache for something more, something that makes you feel alive. That's where Eleanor is when this story starts, and I'm betting you're already wondering, what's going to change everything for her? Stick with me, because I'm going to show you how one unexpected twist can turn a quiet life into an emotional journey you'll never forget. Now, let's talk about you for a second. Yes, you, watching this video right now. Maybe you're here because you love a good heartwarming romance, or maybe you're chasing that feeling of being swept away by a story that feels bigger than life itself. Maybe you felt like Eleanor, stuck in a routine, wondering if your own melody is out there waiting to be discovered. I get it. We've all been there, searching for that one moment that shifts everything into focus. That's why I'm so excited to share this story with you, because it's not just about Eleanor, it's about all of us who've ever hoped for a life-changing connection. This video is your invitation to dive into a world of love, music, and destiny, and I'm promising you right now, if you stay until the end, you'll get the answer to the question that brought you here. What makes this story so special? It's not just the romance. It's the way it sneaks up on you, the way it makes you believe that even the most ordinary life can become extraordinary with the right note. So let's keep going, because I can't wait for you to meet the man who's about to change Eleanor's world forever. Enter Daniel. He's not your typical leading man, and that's what makes this story so intriguing. Daniel's in his early 40s, with a crooked smile that's equal parts charming and mischievous, and a past that's as layered as a symphony. He's not a musician, not by trade, but there's something about him that feels like music. Like the kind of song you can't stop humming, even when you don't know the words. Daniel walks into Eleanor's studio one rainy afternoon, not to learn piano, but for a reason that's going to keep you guessing. Is he there by chance? By fate? Or is there something deeper, something tied to a secret that Eleanor doesn't even know about herself? I'm not going to spoil it yet, because I want you to feel the same curiosity that's burning in Eleanor's heart when she first meets him. There's a spark in that moment, a flicker of something neither of them can name, and it's going to pull you in, my friend, because you've felt that spark before, haven't you? That moment when you meet someone and know, deep down, that they're going to change everything. That's the magic of this story, and it's why you're going to want to keep watching. Let's set the stage a little more. Eleanor's studio is her sanctuary, a place where the world makes sense. The walls are lined with old sheet music, yellowed with age, and a grand piano sits in the center like a throne. It's here that she's taught generations of students, from wide-eyed kids to retirees chasing a lifelong dream. But lately, something's been off. Eleanor's been feeling restless, like she's playing the same song over and over, waiting for a new verse that never comes. Maybe you can relate. Maybe you've been in a place where life feels like it's on repeat, and you're yearning for a change you can't quite define. That's where Eleanor is when Daniel walks through her door, carrying a story of his own that's about to intertwine with hers in ways neither of them could have predicted. The chemistry between them isn't loud or flashy. It's subtle, like the first notes of a ballad, building slowly until it's impossible to ignore. And you, my friend, are going to be right there with them, feeling every moment, because this story is about more than just love. It's about finding the courage to rewrite your own song. Now, I want to talk to you directly because this is important. You're here because you love stories that make you feel something, stories that remind you why we're all human, why we keep searching for connection. This video is for you. Yes, you, because it's going to take you on an emotional journey that's going to hit all the right notes. I'm not just telling you a story. I'm inviting you into Eleanor and Daniel's world, asking you to walk with them through the highs and lows, the laughter and the tears. And I know you're curious. You're wondering, what's the secret Daniel's hiding? Why did he really show up at Eleanor's studio? And how does a piano teacher, who spent her life helping others find their rhythm, discover the music in her own heart? I'm promising you, if you stick with me, you're going to get those answers, and they're going to be worth it. This isn't just another love story. It's a story about second chances, about the way life surprises you when you least expect it, and about the kind of connection that makes you believe in destiny. Let's talk about the tone of this story for a moment, because it's going to pull you in and keep you there. Picture a cozy golden-lit room filled with the soft hum of piano chords, where every note feels like a heartbeat. There's warmth here, but also tension, like the moment before a storm breaks. The atmosphere is intimate, almost like you're sitting across from Eleanor, listening to her share her story over a cup of tea. But there's conflict, too. A quiet battle between the safety of the life Eleanor knows and the unknown melody that Daniel represents. It's the kind of conflict we all face at some point. Do you stay in the comfort of what's familiar, or do you take a chance on something that could change everything? That's the question at the heart of this story, and it's going to resonate with you, because you've asked yourself that question before. Maybe you're asking it now. That's why I'm so excited to share this with you, because it's not just Eleanor's story, it's yours too. As we dive deeper, I want you to imagine the themes weaving through this story like threads in a tapestry. There's love, of course, but it's not the kind of love you see in flashy rom-coms. This is raw, real, the kind of love that grows in the quiet moments, in the spaces between words. There's music, not just as a backdrop, but as a language that speaks what words can't. And there's destiny, the idea that some people come into your life for a reason, even if you don't understand it at first. These themes are going to wrap around you like a warm hug, making you feel connected to Eleanor and Daniel in a way that feels personal. I'm talking to you, my friend, because I know you've felt these things. Love, longing, the pull of something bigger than yourself. And I'm here to tell you that this story is going to take those feelings and turn them into something beautiful, something you'll carry with you long after the video ends. Now, let's get to the heart of why you're going to want to keep watching. Eleanor and Daniel's first meeting isn't just a meet-cute. It's a moment that feels like fate, but with a shadow of mystery. When Daniel steps into the studio, rain dripping from his coat, there's something in his eyes that makes Eleanor pause. He's not there for a lesson, he says, but he needs her help with something else, something he won't fully explain. His voice is steady, but there's a tremor beneath it, like he's carrying a weight he can't put down. Eleanor, cautious but curious, agrees to hear him out, and that's when everything starts to shift. You're going to feel it too, that moment when you know something big is about to happen, but you're not sure what. I'm not going to give it away yet, because I want you to feel the same anticipation Eleanor does, the same pull that keeps her awake at night, wondering who this man is and why he's stirred something in her she thought was long gone. That's the magic of this story, and it's why you're going to want to stay until the end. I want to take a moment to connect with you again, because this story isn't just about Eleanor and Daniel. It's about us, too. You and me, sitting here, sharing this moment. I know you're busy, with a million things pulling at your attention, but you chose to click on this video, and I'm so grateful for that. You're here because you believe in the power of a good story, one that makes you feel seen, understood, loved. And I'm promising you, this story delivers. It's going to take you on a roller coaster of emotions, from the quiet beauty of a piano melody to the heart-pounding thrill of an unexpected twist. You're going to laugh at Daniel's quirky charm, ache for Eleanor's unspoken dreams, and cheer for the moments when their worlds collide. But most of all, you're going to get the answer to the question that brought you here. How does a woman who spent her life teaching others to play find the courage to play her own song? I'm asking you to trust me, to stick with me, because I know you're going to love where this story takes you. As we wrap up this introduction, I want you to picture Eleanor sitting at her piano that evening, after Daniel's left. The studio is quiet, the rain still tapping against the windows, but something's different. She plays a single note, then another, and for the first time in years, it feels like the beginning of something new. She doesn't know it yet, but that moment is the start of a journey that will change her life forever. A journey filled with love, secrets, and a melody she never expected to hear. And you, my friend, are right there with her, wondering what Daniel's hiding, why he came to her, and what it all means. The answers are coming, I promise, but they're going to come with twists you won't see coming. So, what happens when Eleanor opens her heart to the music Daniel brings? And what's the secret that could unravel everything they're building? Stay with me, because the next part of this story is going to leave you speechless. The rain hasn't stopped falling outside Eleanor's studio, a gentle patter against the windows that seems to echo the rhythm of her thoughts as she sits at her piano, fingers hovering over the keys. That single note she played after Daniel left still lingers in the air, fragile and full of promise, like a whisper of something she's been chasing her whole life. You can picture her there, can't you? A woman who's spent years teaching others to find their melody, now wondering if she's finally stumbled into her own. Eleanor's life in this small upstate New York town has always been steady, predictable, like the metronome ticking on her shelf. She grew up here in a house just a few blocks away, where her mother used to hum old jazz tunes while cooking dinner, and her father would tinker with radios in the garage, filling the air with static and stories. Music was Eleanor's escape, her way of making sense of a world that often felt too quiet, too small. By her 20s, she'd turned that passion into a career, opening her studio and becoming the town's beloved piano teacher, the one everyone turned to for lessons and a listening ear. But as she sits there now, in the dim glow of her studio's lamplight, you can feel the weight of her unspoken dreams, the one she's tucked away behind her patient smiles and carefully planned lessons. You've been there, haven't you? That moment when you realize the life you've built is beautiful, but there's a piece missing, a note that doesn't quite fit. That's where Eleanor is, and Daniel's arrival has stirred something in her. A life-changing connection that's both thrilling and terrifying, because it promises to upend everything she thought she knew about herself. And let's step back into that rainy afternoon when Daniel first walked into her studio, because there's more to that moment than meets the eye. He wasn't just a stranger seeking shelter from the storm, though his damp coat and tousled hair might have suggested as much. There was purpose in his steps, a quiet determination in the way he glanced around the room, his eyes lingering on the old sheet music pinned to the walls, as if searching for something specific. Eleanor noticed it right away, that flicker of recognition in his gaze, but she didn't know what to make of it. He'd introduced himself with that crooked smile, saying he needed her help with something personal, but his words were vague, almost deliberately so, like he was testing the waters before diving in. You're probably wondering, just like I am, what he's holding back. Why did he choose Eleanor's studio, of all places, in a town where he's clearly a stranger? The townsfolk don't know him, and in a place like this, where everyone knows everyone's business, that's a mystery in itself. But there's something else, something in the way he looked at Eleanor, like he already knew her, like he'd been waiting for this moment longer than she could imagine. It's the kind of unexpected twist that makes your heart skip a beat, and I know you're feeling it too, because you're right there with Eleanor, trying to piece together the puzzle of this man who's walked into her life and changed the tempo of everything. Now let's shift perspectives for a moment, because Daniel's story is just as layered, and it adds a whole new dimension to this heartwarming romance. Daniel isn't from this town. He's a wanderer of sorts, someone who's spent years moving from place to place, never quite settling down. He's got a past that's heavy with regrets, choices he made that left scars you can't see but can feel in the way he carries himself, like a man who's been running from something for too long. You know that feeling, don't you? When you've made mistakes that follow you, whispering in the quiet moments, making you wonder if you'll ever outrun them. Daniel's not here by accident, though. There's a reason he's in this small town, a reason tied to a faded photograph he keeps in his wallet, one he hasn't shown anyone, not even Eleanor. It's a photograph of a young woman at a piano, her fingers poised over the keys, a smile that's both radiant and wistful. Who is she? And why does Daniel clutch that photo like it's the only thing keeping him grounded? I'm not going to tell you yet, because I want you to feel the same curiosity that's burning in Eleanor's heart, the same need to know what's driving this man who's walked into her world and turned it upside down. That's the beauty of this emotional storytelling. It pulls you in, makes you care, makes you need to know what happens next. Let's introduce a subplot that adds another layer of intrigue, because this story isn't just about Eleanor and Daniel. It's about the town itself, a place where secrets have a way of hiding in plain sight. There's a woman named Clara, Eleanor's oldest friend and the town's librarian, who's been watching Eleanor's studio from across the street for years. Clara's the kind of person who knows everyone's story, not because she pries, but because people can't help but confide in her. She's in her 50s, with a sharp wit and a knack for remembering details others forget, and she's noticed something odd about Daniel's arrival. You see, Clara's got a memory that goes back decades, and there's something about Daniel that feels familiar, like a song she's heard before but can't quite place. She's not one to gossip, but she's quietly digging, flipping through old town records and newspaper clippings, trying to figure out why this stranger's presence feels like it's tied to something bigger, something from the town's past. Maybe it's the old music festival that used to draw crowds every summer, or maybe it's the story of a piano teacher who left town under mysterious circumstances years ago. Clara's not sure yet, but her curiosity is infectious, and it's going to pull you deeper into this story, because you're starting to wonder, just like she is, what secrets this town is hiding and how they connect to Eleanor and Daniel. Back to Eleanor, because her perspective is the heartbeat of this story. After Daniel's visit, she can't stop thinking about him. Not just his words, but the way he made her feel, like she was being seen for the first time in years. It's not love, not yet, but it's something close, something that scares her as much as it excites her. She's always been the steady one, the teacher who keeps her emotions in check, but Daniel's presence has cracked that facade, letting a flood of questions spill out. Why does she feel so drawn to him? What did he mean when he said he needed her help? And why does her heart race when she thinks about the way he looked at her, like she was the answer to a question he'd been asking for years? You can feel her turmoil, can't you? That mix of hope and fear, the kind that keeps you up at night, wondering if you're brave enough to take a leap into the unknown. Eleanor's not ready to admit it yet, but Daniel's stirred something in her, a melody she's been afraid to play, and it's going to change the course of her life in ways she can't yet imagine. That's the tension that's building here, the kind that makes this heartwarming romance so irresistible, because it's not just about two people. It's about the courage to embrace a life-changing connection when it comes knocking. Let's add another layer of mystery, because this story thrives on questions that keep you guessing. There's a piano in Eleanor's studio, an old Steinway that's been there since before she was born. It's not just any piano, it's a family heirloom, passed down from her grandmother, a woman who is a bit of a legend in this town for her music and her mysteries. Eleanor's always loved that piano, but she's never thought much about its history. Not until Daniel asked about it during his visit. His questions were casual, almost too casual, like he was trying to hide how much it mattered to him. Why does an old piano matter to a man who claims he's not a musician? And why did he linger by it, running his fingers over the worn keys, as if they held a memory he couldn't share? You're probably feeling the same itch Eleanor is, that need to know what's behind his questions, what's tying him to this piano, to this studio, to her. It's another piece of the puzzle, another reason to keep watching, because this emotional journey is building towards something big, something that's going to make you gasp when the pieces finally fall into place. Now let's talk about the town again, because it's more than just a backdrop. It's a character in its own right, full of quirks and secrets that add depth to this story. This isn't a big city where people come and go without notice. It's a place where the diner knows your order before you sit down, where the annual fair is still the biggest event of the year. But beneath the surface, there's a current of unspoken stories, like the whispers about a scandal that rocked the town years ago, something about a musician who disappeared after a performance that no one talks about anymore. You can feel it, can't you? The way small towns hold on to their secrets, letting them simmer until someone like Daniel comes along IRS things up. Clara's digging is starting to uncover hints of this past, and it's making her wonder if Daniel's arrival is connected to it somehow. Maybe it's nothing or maybe it's everything, but either way, it's adding to the suspense, making you want to lean in closer, because you know there's an unexpected twist waiting just around the corner. As we move forward, I want to connect with you again, because you're the reason this story matters. You're here, watching this video, because you love stories that make you feel alive, stories that remind you of the magic in everyday moments. I'm so grateful you're on this journey with me, because this isn't just about Eleanor and Daniel. It's about all of us who've ever wondered if there's more to life than what we see. You're probably wondering what's next, aren't you? What's Daniel going to say when he comes back to the studio? What's Clara going to find in those dusty records? And what's the secret behind that old piano, the one that seems to hold the key to everything? I'm promising you, my friend, that the answers are coming, but they're going to come with twists that'll leave you breathless. The tension is building, the stakes are rising, and every moment is pulling you deeper into this heartwarming romance. So as Eleanor sits at her piano, playing a melody she can't quite name, and Daniel stands outside in the rain, clutching that photograph, what happens when their worlds collide again? And what secret from the past is about to surface, threatening to change everything they thought they knew? The rain outside Eleanor's studio has turned into a full-blown storm by the time Daniel returns the next morning, his boots leaving wet footprints on the hardwood floor as he steps inside, his face a mix of determination and something else, something that looks like fear. You can feel the shift in the air, can't you? That electric charge when two people stand in a room, knowing something big is about to happen, but neither is sure what. Eleanor's heart skips a beat as she looks up from her lesson plans, her fingers still tingling from the melody she played last night. A melody that felt like it was calling to her, pulling her towards something she doesn't yet understand. Daniel doesn't waste time with small talk this time. He sets a small weathered box on the piano, its edges worn and its surface etched with faint carvings that look like musical notes. He says he needs her to open it, that it's connected to the reason he's here, but his voice catches when he mentions her grandmother's name, Lillian, the woman who once owned this very piano. That's the moment everything changes, the shocking twist that hits you like a chord you didn't expect. How does Daniel know about Lillian? And why does this box, which Eleanor's never seen before, feel like it's been waiting for her all along? You're probably feeling the same rush Eleanor is, that mix of curiosity and dread, because this isn't just about a man and a piano teacher anymore. It's about hidden secrets from the past that are about to turn her world upside down. Let's dive into this twist, because it's the kind of romantic suspense that makes your heart race. The box isn't just an object, it's a Pandora's box of questions, and Daniel's reluctance to explain its full significance only deepens the mystery. He tells Eleanor it belonged to Lillian, that it holds something she needs to see, but he won't say more until she opens it. His eyes, usually so warm, are clouded with something heavy, like he's carrying a truth he's not ready to share. Eleanor hesitates, her fingers brushing the box's surface, feeling the weight of her grandmother's legacy in a way she never has before. Lillian was more than just a piano teacher. She was a legend in this town, a woman whose music could make you feel like you were flying, but whose life ended in whispers of a scandal no one ever fully explained. Eleanor's always known the stories, how Lillian left town suddenly after a performance at the old music festival, how she never returned. But she's never dug deeper, never wanted to stir up the past. Now, with Daniel standing there, his presence like a key turning in a lock, she's starting to wonder if the past has been waiting for her all along. You know that feeling, don't you? When you stumble across something that makes you question everything you thought you knew about your own story. That's where Eleanor is, and I know you're right there with her, desperate to know what's in that box and why it's making her heart pound like a drum. Meanwhile, Clara's subplot is heating up, adding another layer to this emotional drama. Across the street, in the quiet of the town library, Clara's been poring over old records, her glasses slipping down her nose as she pieces together fragments of the town's history. She's found something, a newspaper clipping from 1975, yellowed and brittle, about Lillian's final performance at the music festival. The article mentions a young man, a musician who played alongside her, someone who disappeared the same night Lillian did. There's no name, no clear connection to Daniel, but Clara's instincts are screaming that this isn't a coincidence. She's starting to suspect that Daniel's arrival isn't random, that he's tied to this forgotten piece of the town's past, maybe even to the scandal that drove Lillian away. Clara's not one to jump to conclusions, but she's quietly watching Daniel, noting the way he lingers near the piano, the way he seems to know things about Eleanor's studio that no stranger should. You can feel the tension building, can't you? The way Clara's digging is like a clock ticking, getting closer to a truth that could change everything. It's the kind of hidden secrets that make you lean forward, wondering how all these pieces fit together, and I'm promising you, my friend, that the answers are coming, but not just yet. The main conflict is escalating now, and it's pulling Eleanor and Daniel into a dance of trust and doubt that's as gripping as it is heartbreaking. Eleanor agrees to open the box, but only if Daniel tells her why he's really here. His response is cryptic, a half-truth that only deepens the mystery. He says he's looking for someone connected to Lillian, someone who might still be in this town. He doesn't say who, but the way he looks at Eleanor, like she's both the answer and the question, makes her stomach twist. She's starting to feel something for him, something that scares her because it's so raw, so real, but she's also starting to wonder if she can trust him. Is he here for her, or is he chasing a ghost from her grandmother's past? You're probably asking yourself the same questions, because this life-changing connection between them is teetering on the edge of something bigger, something that could either bring them closer or tear them apart. The box sits unopened between them, a symbol of everything they're not saying, and you can feel the weight of it, the way it's pulling them toward a truth neither of them is ready to face. That's the beauty of this story. It's not just a heartwarming romance. It's a journey into the unknown, where every step forward feels like a leap of faith. Let's weave in another subplot, because this town is full of layers, and every layer adds to the suspense. There's a young student in Eleanor's class, a 16-year-old named Mia, who's been coming to lessons since she was a kid. Mia's quiet, observant, with a talent for music that rivals Eleanor's own, but lately she's been distracted, her fingers stumbling over the keys. Eleanor's noticed it, but she's been too caught up in her own thoughts to ask why. What she doesn't know is that Mia's been overhearing things. Whispers at the diner, conversations between her parents about a stranger in town who's been asking questions about the old music festival. Mia's too young to know the details, but she's got a knack for picking up on things others miss, and she's starting to wonder if Daniel's connected to the stories her grandmother used to tell. Stories about a piano teacher who broke hearts and vanished into the night. Mia's curiosity is another thread in this tapestry. Another piece of the puzzle that's going to keep you guessing. You can see it, can't you? The way this small town is coming alive with questions, each one adding to the romantic suspense that's got you hooked. As the storm outside rages on, Eleanor and Daniel stand at a crossroads, the box still unopened, the air between them thick with unspoken words. Eleanor's starting to feel the weight of her own past, the way her grandmother's shadow has always loomed over her, shaping her life in ways she's never fully understood. Daniel's presence is forcing her to confront that, to ask questions she's avoided for years, and it's terrifying her as much as it's drawing her in. You know that feeling, my friend, when you're standing on the edge of something big, something that could change everything, and you're not sure if you're ready to jump. That's where Eleanor is, and Daniel's not making it any easier. He's holding back, guarding his own secrets, and yet there's a vulnerability in him, a longing that makes Eleanor want to trust him, even when her instincts tell her to be careful. The tension between them is electric, a push and pull that's as much about love as it is about truth, and it's building toward a climax that's going to leave you speechless. I want to talk to you directly now, because you're the heart of this story. You're here watching this video because you love emotional storytelling that makes you feel alive, that reminds you of the magic in human connections. I'm so grateful you're on this journey with me, because this isn't just about Eleanor and Daniel. It's about all of us who've ever faced a moment that could change everything. You're probably wondering what's in that box, aren't you? What's the secret Daniel's keeping, and how does it tie to Lillian's past? Is Clara going to uncover something that changes the game? And what about Mia? What's she going to find out that pulls her deeper into this mystery? I'm promising you, my friend, that the answers are coming, but they're going to come with a shocking twist that'll make your jaw drop. The stakes are higher now, the questions are bigger, and every moment is pushing us closer to a truth that could unravel everything. So as Eleanor reaches for the box, her hand trembling, and Daniel watches her with eyes full of hope and fear, what happens when she finally opens it? And what secret from the past is about to burst into the present, threatening to rewrite the melody of their lives forever? The storm outside Eleanor's studio has softened to a gentle drizzle, but inside, the air is thick with anticipation as Eleanor's fingers finally lift the lid of the weathered box, its hinges creaking like a sigh from the past. You can feel her heartbeat, can't you? That moment when you're about to uncover something that could change everything, and you're not sure if you're ready for it. Inside the box, nestled in faded velvet, is a bundle of letters tied with a ribbon, a small silver locket, and a single sheet of music, its edges yellowed but the notes still clear, written in her grandmother Lillian's elegant hand. Eleanor's breath catches as she recognizes the title scrawled at the top. Melody for Two, a piece Lillian never taught her, never even mentioned. Daniel's voice is soft but urgent as he explains that these letters were written by Lillian to a man named Thomas, a musician who shared the stage with her at the town's music festival in 1975, the night she vanished from this small upstate New York town. The revelation hits Eleanor like a wave. She's heard whispers of Thomas, the man who disappeared with Lillian, but she never knew the full story. Daniel's eyes meet hers, and he confesses the truth that's been hiding in plain sight. He's Thomas's son, raised far from this town, carrying his father's regrets and a promise to find the woman who changed his life. You're probably reeling, just like I am, because this is the emotional climax you've been waiting for, the moment where the past and present collide in a life-changing revelation that makes this epic love story so much more than a romance. Let's unpack this moment, because it's the heart of everything we've been building toward. The letters reveal a love story that never had its chance to shine. Lillian and Thomas were in love, their music a language that bound them together, but their dreams were torn apart by a scandal that wasn't their fault. A jealous rival spread rumors about Lillian, accusing her of stealing compositions, and the town turned on her, forcing her to leave in shame. Thomas tried to follow, but life pulled them apart. Lillian to a new city, Thomas to a life of regret, never knowing she'd kept their love alive in these letters, in this music. Daniel's been searching for Lillian's truth, hoping to clear her name and fulfill his father's dying wish to return these letters to her family. But here's where the stakes climb even higher. Eleanor realizes that Lillian never told anyone about Thomas, not even her own daughter, Eleanor's mother. Why? Was it shame, heartbreak, or something deeper? As Eleanor reads the letters, her hand shaking, she finds a line that stops her cold. Lillian wrote that she left something behind in the piano, something meant for Thomas if he ever returned. You can feel the weight of that discovery, can't you? The way it pulls you deeper into this romantic suspense, making you wonder what's hidden in that old Steinway and how it's going to change Eleanor's life forever. The climax surges as Eleanor, with Daniel's help, lifts the piano's lid and finds a hidden compartment beneath the strings, a secret her grandmother kept for decades. Inside is a small journal, its pages filled with Lillian's thoughts, dreams, and a final confession. She was pregnant when she left town, carrying Thomas's child, Eleanor's mother. This jaw-dropping twist hits like a thunderclap, and you're probably gasping, just like Eleanor is, because it means Daniel isn't just a stranger. He's her half-brother, connected by a love story that's been buried for 50 years. The realization shatters the budding romance between them, replacing it with a deeper, more profound connection. A life-changing revelation that rewrites everything Eleanor thought she knew about her family. Daniel's been searching for Lillian's legacy, not knowing he was searching for his own sister, and now they stand together, tears in their eyes, holding the pieces of a past that's finally coming to light. It's not the heartwarming romance you expected, but it's something even more powerful. A story of family, forgiveness, and the music that binds us across generations. You're feeling it, aren't you? That mix of shock and warmth, the way this emotional climax makes your heart ache and soar at the same time. Let's weave in the subplots, because Clara and Mia have their own roles in this resolution, tying up the threads of this intricate tale. Clara, still digging in the library, finds a final piece of the puzzle. A letter from Lillian to the town. Written years after she left, apologizing for her sudden departure and explaining the truth about the scandal. Clara shares it with the local newspaper, and the town begins to buzz with the news, restoring Lillian's reputation and bringing closure to a wound that's lingered for decades. Clara's quiet determination, her refusal to let the past stay buried, becomes a testament to the power of truth, and you can't help but cheer for her, because she's the kind of friend we all need. Someone who sees what others miss and fights for what's right. Mia, meanwhile, has been listening, watching, and piecing things together in her own way. She confronts Eleanor after a lesson, sharing a story her grandmother told her about Lillian's music, how it felt like it could heal a broken heart. Mia's insight, her youthful clarity, helps Eleanor see that this isn't just about the past. It's about the future, about carrying Lillian's music forward. Mia's decision to perform Melody for Two at the upcoming town festival becomes a symbol of hope, a way to honor Lillian and bring the town together. You can see it, can't you? The way these subplots weave into the main story, creating a tapestry of connection that makes this epic love story so unforgettable. But we're not done yet, because there's one final unexpected twist that's going to leave you in awe. As Eleanor and Daniel sit together, reading Lillian's journal, they find a note tucked in the back, written in a different hand, Thomas's. It's dated just a year ago before his death, and it reveals that he never stopped loving Lillian, that he wrote a companion piece to Melody for Two, a duet meant to be played by two people who share a bond deeper than words. Daniel pulls out a folded sheet of music from his wallet. The photograph wasn't of Lillian, but of the music they created together, a symbol of their love. He and Eleanor decide to play the duet, their fingers moving over the keys in perfect harmony, bringing their parents' love story to life. The music fills the studio, spilling out into the street, drawing a crowd of townsfolk who stand in the rain, listening to a melody that feels like it's healing old wounds. It's a moment of pure magic, a life-changing revelation that shows how love can endure, even through time and distance. You're probably tearing up, just like I am, because this isn't just a resolution. It's a celebration of the music that lives in all of us, the connections that make life worth living. As the final notes fade, Eleanor and Daniel stand together, no longer strangers but family, their bond forged by a past they've reclaimed and a future they'll build together. The town, once divided by whispers and secrets, comes together for the festival, where Mia's performance of Melody for Two brings tears and applause, a reminder that music can mend what words cannot. I want to talk to you now, my friend, because you've been with me through every moment of this emotional journey, and I'm so grateful for that. You came here for a heartwarming romance, but you got something even bigger. An epic love story about family, forgiveness, and the courage to face the truth. The key takeaway? Life's melody is never complete until you embrace the notes you're afraid to play, whether they're love, loss, or the secrets that shape us. You're probably thinking about your own story now, the people and moments that have made you who you are, and that's what makes this story so special. It's not just Eleanor and Daniel's, it's yours too. So, as the camera pans out, showing the town bathed in the golden light of a new day, what's the one note you're ready to play in your own life? And how will you make your own music heard?